Good afternoon, everybody. Uneducated Economist here. So real quick, building materials update. For those of you who don't know, I work at a lumber yard and I follow half-inch CDX and 2x4s as an indicator of where we are in the new construction market, or at least the demand for the new building materials. 2x4s being like the skeleton of your building and the half-inch CDX being like the skin that goes on the outside. These are like the two base components as far as building a new home goes. And it doesn't matter if you're building a $500 shack or a $1 million mansion. It's just they're the same material. It just depends on how many you're buying. So just recently we have seen a huge drop in the price of building materials. Now last summer we saw lumber prices, the futures, selling for $650 per thousand. That dropped all the way down to $300 per thousand, and mills all over the place started to shut down, saying that these low lumber prices, they could no longer be profitable and they would have to curtail development or production of the lumber and to tighten up the inventory and raise the prices back up. Now, the first announcement we saw was probably about 6 weeks ago or so, and it was Interfer and Canfor who announced that they were going to be holding back production for a couple of weeks, and it really worked because we saw the lumber future prices jump from about $300 per thousand up to around $330, $350 per thousand. But then they ticked all the way back down to $300 per thousand again, and more mills announced that they were going to be curtailing development. And again, we saw the price of lumber shoot up a little bit, but then drop all the way back down to $300 per thousand again. This morning I got up and I noticed that the price of lumber had jumped huge, like a good 5% move just this morning. And when I got into work, I had this email. It says, last night Canfor announced that they will be curtailing all BC sawmills except for Wynwood. The majority of mills will halt production for 2 weeks, with extended curtailments of 4 weeks at Houston and Plateau Mills and 6 weeks at McKinsey. These are scheduled to run from June 17th to June 26th and will reduce their production output by approximately 200 million board feet. So if this is not a telling sign of where we are in the new construction, I don't know what is. This is the building season, guys. This is the time that we should be pumping out as much material as we can to get these buildings put up before the winter comes. You try to get the structures up during the good weather so that they're dried in during the bad weather, and you do the interior work. This is the common time for framing. This is the framing season. And the mills all over the place are shutting down. If this is not a telling sign, I don't know what is. Uneducated Economist. You guys let me know.